I love like talking textile, nerd stuff, weaves, whatever. This person was asking because I shared a little card I'd made with fabric selvages, was asking like, why don't more people use the fabric selvage because it's so cool? And I agree, it's super cool. So, okay, what's the fabric selvage? Well, okay, here is some quilting cotton, and the fabric selvage runs along like the side, the grain, along the warp. Imagine a bolt of fabric and it's super long. That's the warp, and then the weft is kind of across it, right to left. And all the fabric selvage really is the edge that's woven like really tightly so the fabric doesn't fray. But it can be, you know, decorative and have stuff written on it, or it can be fairly simple. Now, the reason why most people don't use it, or a lot of people don't, is I'm going to use like clothing as an example. So this is like the super beautiful lightweight cotton lawn fabric. Here's the selvage, and not super decorative, but again, because it's woven so tightly, like it's a little bit like warpy, a little bit wonky, especially if you threw this in the wash, which I'd totally do. It's going to react a little bit differently. You could iron it out, but basically think like if you're making clothes and everything needs to line up and fit, most people who do clothes are going to cut off the selvage because they don't want to deal with that like warpy wonkiness. So quilting. Well, I would say a lot of quilters don't use it for exactly the same reason. It totally depends on what type of quilt you're making. If you are a quilter who is making, you know, little perfect angles and everything has to match exactly, maybe you're following a pattern, maybe you're doing something very traditional and intricate, you also don't want to be introducing something like the fabric selvage that is going to possibly make things not lay flat, or is going to be a bit of a wild card element. Now that's exactly why I love it. For me, quilting is about texture and dimension. I'm not focused on getting those like perfect edges. That's not my goal. So being able to use something like the selvage that generally has writing or different colors or a little bit of fray in it, I think like adds interest. But yeah, I mean, I just love selvage, and I think depending on what you're doing, it's something that can add like so much interest to your project. I love like talking